What's up, y'all? This be your boy Scotty, and you're watching my review on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 5, Episode 1 and 2. What's up, you guys? I did not do a review last week because I tried to watch the show and I was very much distracted. So with that being said, I just decided to put both episodes on one video. For those of you who don't know, I tried to review The Real Housewives of New Jersey on Season 3, but did not have a full commitment to it because the show just became boring. It became redundant. And, you know, I just couldn't review it. It was one of those shows that I can watch, but I just couldn't review them. Just probably like Mob Wives was for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. For those of you who don't know, I've been watching Real Housewives of New Jersey since the beginning. And my favorite was Danielle, and she's gone. So with that being said, I don't like anyone. I really don't like Teresa. I really don't like Caroline. I don't like Jacqueline. I don't like Kathy. And I kind of like Melissa, but she plays the victim too much. So with that being said, the only person that I really like on the show is Joe Gorga. And I only tolerate Melissa because she's with Joe Gorga. So if I could say my favorite housewife after the whole show would be Melissa, even though I don't too much care for her myself. So with that being said, let's get into the first episode. The episode starts off with the Hurricane Sandy devastation. They go, everybody goes in on Jersey Shore and they go back and see their rental properties being destroyed in the storm. And it basically puts things in perspective. Like, you know, there's a lot of more important things that's been going on in our lives and everything. And, you know, with this storm coming in, these rental properties, these second properties that we have could have been our sole properties. You know, just seeing their properties being destroyed and thinking about those who only got one house and that's all they had, and now they're homeless, that puts things into perspective for them. So I kind of saw that, and I, you know, that was my curiosity. I wanted to see what it was like for the Hurricane Sandy victims, because I know when I was in 11th grade, and Hurricane Katrina was a bad bitch. She blew her ass from the Gulf Coast all the way up, and I stay in the middle part of Mississippi. I stay in the Jackson area. So for that storm to come all the way her ass up there, it was crazy. But you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. So Teresa and the kids, they decide that they want to give away their old clothes and give them away to the Sandy victims. You know, Teresa is fabulous. I don't like the bitch at all, but I think that she's fabulous. So why not give your fabulous clothes to the people that really need it? You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be wearing any of these clothes anymore, so you might as well give it to the people that need it. In the midst of it, Melania decides that she wanted to write a note to Antonia, and she decides that she wanted to know that she wanted her to know how much she misses her or whatever. So that was basically the gist of it. Like, it's crazy how the kids are really being affected by what's going on between Teresa, Joe, and Joe Giudice and you know, Melissa. It's really crazy, and they're not even thinking about the kids. And from my understanding, you know, Teresa and Melissa are both not trying to make things right because they're too busy pointing the finger at the other person. Teresa's pointing the finger at Melissa, saying Melissa don't want to make things work. Yet Melissa pointing the finger at Teresa, saying Teresa don't want things to work. Neither one of y'all want things to work, y'all. Both of y'all are being stubborn and butt-headed. Y'all really need to get y'all heads out of y'all asses and get it together if y'all really want the family to work out. So, because I don't think it's Teresa's fault. I don't think it's Melissa's fault. I think it's collectively the four of y'all who ain't doing what y'all supposed to do. So we get into Nicholas' autism, and we see Jacqueline dealing with that, and it's pretty much a sad thing that I really don't want to discuss, so I'm just going to skip it if y'all don't mind. So Joe and Melissa, they talks about Melania and Antonia, and Melania's letter comes to Antonia, and, you know, they basically talk about how, you know, how they hate that the kids have to be subjected to this, and how, you know, Melissa meant what she said when she didn't want Teresa near her kids. But I just think that it's unfair to the kids because they are cousins, they love each other, and I think that they should be around each other. Like, I wish I had first cousins around my age that I could be around, and I just think that it's not cool for the kids to be subjected to the things that is going on between adults. I think that everybody has a part in it, like I said before. Kathy talks to her mother and Rosie about speaking up. You know, because Kathy has a way of not speaking up for herself. She always needs somebody to speak for her. She always sitting in the cut with her arms folded, not saying shit. And then when it finally comes out, it comes out the wrong way. So, you know, Rosie basically told her that she needs to stand up for herself, and it really doesn't matter if what she says come off the wrong way. Like, she needs to let a bitch know that it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you got something to say, then just say it. If you feel some type of way, then you feel some type of way. Put it out there. And I really do agree with that, because I had problems with that before, and now you can't make me shut the fuck up for shit. So, Antonia sends Melania the letter. Melania decides that she wants to call Antonia. And, you know, they have a conversation. They want to have a play date. And Melissa decides that she wants to plan the play date or whatever. And, you know, Gia talks to Joe Giudice about it. And he basically said that, well, you know, they want it to be this way. Like, they involve their kids in what's going on. I think that was very hypocritical of Joe Giudice, because you involve your kids too. I mean, let's get real. Like, at the later on in this review, I'm going to talk about how you know, called Melissa horsey face and said it to Melania, like, you are the epitome of involving your kids and shit. I mean, what about how Melania gonna get on the pole and say, I'm Melissa? Obviously, she heard that from her parents, so who are you to say that, you know what I'm saying, they involve their kids in it? Y'all, you do it. I mean, y'all all do it. So you can't just, like I keep saying, you can't point the finger at one person. I ain't never heard Melissa kids come for Teresa, so I cannot say that Joe and Melissa involve their kids. However, your kids stay throwing jabs at Melissa, stay throwing shade, stay talking about her being on the pole. Obviously, y'all been talking about Melissa in front of those kids, so you can't really throw shade. Come on, there, Joe Giudice. The Gorgas visits Caroline at her apartment, and you know, they decide, you know, they talks about the situation with Caroline, and you know, Caroline basically tries to tell them that they need to get it together and just sit down and have a conversation about it. So then, you know, Melissa decides that she wants to talk to Teresa about a play date, and then you know what I'm saying, they basically go back and forth about, well, you know, I'm going to pick them up. No, I'm going to pick them up. No, I'm going to take them here. No, I'm going to take them to the house. It's pretty much childish to the fact that they can't even agree on where they want to take the kids. Just like Caroline said, just put the kids in the car, take them somewhere, whether it's McDonald's, Playpen, it doesn't matter. Take them some damn way. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids want to be in each other's life. They want to see each other. Let them have that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that it's fair. I think it's not right. And I think that they need to sit their ass down and just be grown-ups about the situation. And they're not being grown-ups about the situation. So they need to have several plateau of seats. That's what I believe. Let's see. Jacqueline and Caroline, they discussed the Gorga versus Giudice situation. And Jacqueline is really tired of the Gorga versus Giudice situation. And I'm pretty much tired of it too already within this first episode. And, you know, I just think that Caroline really needs to stay out of it. She Joe Gorga about it. But I just think that she needs to just stay out of it. I mean, she's going through her own family issues with Dina and everybody else in her family. So she need to have a seat. Okay. Teresa and Gia go out shopping, and then, you know, Gia basically says that Melissa's texting her about the play date, and then Gia sends the text. And I just feel like the fact that Gia is smarter than her own parents is really crazy. How much more mature Gia is than the adults in the situation. It's pretty much sad, and it's really immature in my opinion. And I just think that Teresa, Melissa, Joe, Gorga, and Giudice are all to blame for the situation. While they all pointing fingers at each other, all y'all got a complete part in it. Everybody saying, well, I didn't do anything wrong. No, I didn't do anything wrong. Y'all all wrong. How about that? So Joe and Caroline meet up for coffee, and Caroline basically lets Joe know that, you know, she knows how it feels to be in a situation where you're not talking to a sibling. She basically advises Joe to talk to Teresa. Whether you feel like You know, you done all you can. Your father's sick. Talk to your sister. Make things right with your sister. Do you want your father to die knowing that his kids aren't together? You know what I'm saying? Who would want that for their parent, for their dying parent? You know what I'm saying? Or somebody that might be on the brink of dying, or a sick parent. You know, y'all should be together for this shit. And I just think that Caroline, you know, was giving him the real. But why won't she apply this shit to her own life? Sorry. Antonia and Milani's play date, it was very much awkward. It was very tense. Teresa and Melissa obviously didn't want to be in the same room with each other. And I just think that it's sad. They can't even come together and be cordial for the sake of the kids. You know what I'm saying? They're not even being cordial. They're being tolerant. And what really broke my heart is when the play date was over and the kids had to be separated and go to their respective ass cars, they started crying out for each other. And I just really felt like that was like, you know what? They really need to get it together. If not for themselves, for the kids. Episode 2. So Teresa talks to the kids about about her father being in a hospital, about he's going to be on the pacemaker, about his heart, and she decides, you know, they're going to make him get well cards or whatnot, and just do something nice for their grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Then Melissa continues to try and sell her home. Nobody cares. This past episode of night, y'all, was so bored. I'm probably gonna run all through this one, but it was pretty much boring. Like she's trying to sell her home. Ain't nobody trying to, in this damn economy, ain't nobody trying to buy no house for $3.6 million. That is not no money. You know what I'm saying? That is not enough. I mean, that is too fucking much for somebody to be paying to get a house. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I just think that that's just too much for a house. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Caroline tells Al about her meeting with Teresa, and he feels like she needs to stay out of it, just like everybody else feels. Just stay the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying, Caroline? This ain't your business. This ain't your fight. Just stay out of it, because at the end of the day, Teresa is gonna think that, how can you tell me what I need to do when Dina, you're not even talking to Dina? That's the type of bitch Teresa is. Stay out that shit, Caroline. I'm telling you. Kathy and Rich teaches Joey how to drive. Who cares? Joe and Chris discuss the autism situation and how it's been, you know, putting a damper on his relationship with Jacqueline. And I can pretty much understand why it would. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's kid got autism. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty much hard. And it's pretty much hard watching them having to teach their son how to talk and say certain words and shit. You know what I mean? Jacqueline does an interview. She starts crying and she decides to speak out about autism and what it's doing for her son and all of that. So Teresa and Kim D, they leave the hospital after visiting Teresa.